So I was going to do a video to motivate you this morning, but instead I wanted to talk to you about doing these YouTube videos and how much of a challenge it is often to do these YouTube videos. Because it really truly is. It may seem easy for many of you to speak openly about myself, and then but in reality, I really struggle at these kind of things. So if you don't know me, I'm an associate professor of innovation strategy and entrepreneurship, and I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There are so many people that help me out that I want to pay the favor for it and help you out. So speaking openly about yourself is always a challenge. So, I got into many different things, especially this year. I've really gotten into many personal things of, my experiences in when I was in elementary school, being in special ed, my experiences. I went through a period of my life for about 4 or 5 years where I did not have any friends, basically from grade 7 through 10, and that really marked who I was as an individual. It really changed me as a person, and then I talked about being bullied in high school and going through all those things. And of course, somebody is going to bully somebody else that is feeling like an outsider. Isn't that sort of stereotypical sociology right there, right? Or typical we understand about outsiders and things. So, but the other thing that I want you to sort of realize is it's really difficult not just to talk about my own personal experiences and stuff, but it is a challenge for academics to speak openly about the career and doing things in academia and what it's about, because it's kind of like opening up the kimono, right? Have you ever heard of that saying where people are just being open? And often we're really afraid to do those kind of things. And the advice is often not to talk about these kind of things. That's why if you look around, I think maybe there's other academics, but I think I'm one of the only academics that's speaking openly and frankly about these kind of things, particularly on YouTube and in social media and things. And the reason is, the reason people don't do it is because they're scared. They're scared about losing their job. They're scared about what people are going to say. And then the other thing is we often think that we should be prioritizing research all the time, because we probably should be. Everything in our life should be prioritizing research, because our salary, our jobs, everything is tied to that. And so if I'm doing this, it makes me less research productive by far. By doing these things, it does pull you back, and I wish I could be better at that. Maybe someday I'll be able to leverage this project to be a little better at that. That's what the hope is. But right now it is a challenge to do these kind of things, and so people don't do it, and they don't speak openly about what's going on in their life and what they're about. But personally, I think that this is really important stuff for you to know. Somebody was critical of me this week in terms of I'm talking about too much negative information. It's one of my videos about don't do a PhD, basically, kind of thing. And they were saying that I was being too critical of the profession, and why would I talk about those things? Well, the reason is I want to be open, and I think every profession, everything in life has pros and cons. I don't think that being somebody that picks up garbage off the street is going to be glamorous in any sort of way. There's some wonderful things that happens with them that is really cool experiences, in terms of maybe you find something that's really cool off the street, right? That's fun. The thrill of a hunt is fun. But at the same time, there's lots of negative things. And the same thing as being a parent. There's a lot of beautiful, wonderful experiences, but any parent that's being real and open with you is going to say, yeah, it's really tough. It's a real challenge at every moment of it, that we're all struggling with, and we don't know what we're talking about, right? As the parent, that's the funny thing. But it's kind of an aside. But the funny thing is, when you're a kid, you think your parent knows everything, and then when you become a parent, you realize, oh gosh, I don't know anything at all. And it's kind of the same thing with doing these videos and talking about my life openly, is that these things are they are difficult and they're challenging to speak openly about, and to realize that the journey towards all of these things is just as important as the outcome. So if you are a parent, you're going to realize you're not going to sort of just talk about your experience of when your kid became 21 and got his first job at Goldman Sachs or whatever, right? You're going to talk about all the different experiences along the way and what it was like to be an academic, to be a professor, to be a scientist in this day and age where science is not being valued. Science but at the same time, it's science is not perfect in any sort of way. So we should recognize that and be open with that. But a lot of people find it difficult to, on both sides, to sort of get into that debate and to speak openly about what it actually means. So, for me, being an open and honest academic, an open and honest scientist, researcher, professor, parent, whatever my role is, to, guidance counselor, I guess, psychologist, whatever, all these different things that I'm trying to help you out and tell these different stories and things is really just to let you know that life is challenging no matter what you're doing. And the way that you get over these things, and this is circling back to the beginning in terms of the challenge of doing these videos and speaking openly, I still don't like it to this day. I still get nervous, but at the same time, and if I was to do public speaking in front of 1,000 people, I would get very, very nervous, but I would still do it, I think. And it's the same as this. I still do it, even though that, I could lose my job. I could say something that's stupid and alienate people, and they might take it the wrong way because it's on public record at this moment. I could do any number of things by doing this. I look like kind of an idiot, and people are thinking, particularly starting off, lots of people are saying and sort of thinking about why are you doing those kind of things and stuff like that in all areas of my life. And so you look kind of stupid when you do these things, but I still go out and do it. And that's what I want you to sort of practice. If you're doing something that is scaring you, that you're nervous about, that you don't want to do it, that you're afraid about, just start doing that thing and start practicing it. So if you're doing some research, if you are, writing applications to PhD programs, if you're, a professor right now and you're worried about giving that 1,000-person lecture, just start doing it. It's not going to be nice the first times that you do it, and it'll probably never get better in terms of my own personal, my insecurities, my doubts, all those fears. They're still there. They don't go away. But I still do it, and doing it is half the battle. That's actually a majority of the battle. It's more than half the battle, where you're actually getting out there and you're doing those things and you realize what you're about. And it becomes easier in the sense that you can do it and perform, but it doesn't necessarily, the feelings behind it don't necessarily go away, and they don't change. So that's all I want to talk about is if you are, if you're doubting yourself, if you're insecure, if you're going through whatever it is in your life, whatever that is, just make sure that you, even though that you're scared, you're nervous, you don't want to do it, just continuously do that thing. By performing that action, it becomes easier and you get practice at it. And it becomes more fluid, and you start disregarding what other people are saying because it becomes part of your identity to do those particular things. It's still not necessarily a big, making a transition at this moment in my life in terms of what my identity is. I still get nervous talking about it, that I do these YouTube videos. Still get nervous posting it on social media and all those things, but it's slowly becoming my identity as I become better at it and I get more practice with it. That I just want you to perform, to do better. And if it takes a video today, if it takes this video, or if it takes another video to get you to do the things that you want to do, that's what I'm going to try to do. Because I think that's the fundamental flaw in science at this moment is we don't have a lot of people that are rah-rah-rahing us and getting us all motivated and making us actually want to do this research. Because it is challenging, it is difficult. But I want you to know that you can do this thing, and whatever you're afraid about, whatever challenges you're running into, just get out there and do that thing, and just keep practicing with it. And even though that people are going to say that maybe that's a stupid thing, that you're going to have a tremendous amount of self-doubt and insecurities with that thing, it's going to seem like it's going to take forever. It's going to take you 10,000 hours. Just bet on that. That's a pretty good rule, actually, to do that thing. Whatever you're working on, it's going to take you 10,000 hours to complete it. It was actually a professor at my institution that practiced it and or was talking about it in terms of expertise, and Malcolm Gladwell made it a big thing. Anyways, so my point is just get out there, do it, practice, and it does get better. So that's it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.